All right, boys and girls, here is our first video lesson for this morning. In your My Perspectives book, please open to page 214 and 215. If you have not already gotten your books after the audio, get them now. Pause if you need to pause. Hopefully I won't cough as much this morning while doing this lesson as I did yesterday. I apologize for that. Seems to be a little better today, but I'm not sure. Okay, so you should be on page 214 and 215 right now. And at the very top of 214, here is our making meaning. We've talked about this before, but I just want to keep reminding you that when we are done reading The Black Hole of Technology, we will be comparing these two texts. Teens and Technology Share a Future, along with The Black Hole of Technology. In the last text we read, the blog post Teens and Technology Share a Future, we did mark that the author of that blog post felt that technology was helpful for modern society. So today, as we start to read and discuss the text, I want you to think about how the author of this blog post, The Black Hole of Technology, feels about technology and modern society. About the author here on the left-hand side of the screen, as well as the left-hand side of page 214. This is Lina Khan. She was born in 2001, and she is an aspiring author, which means that aspiring means it's what she hopes to become as an author. She's just starting out. And Khan lives in Saudi Arabia, which hopefully you guys know is not part of the United States. So the author of the last blog post we read was a male. This is a female, not that that matters. In the center here is what we did yesterday, was our concept vocabulary with those 5 words. Again, I'm going to read them for you just to remind you. We have devouring, absorbing, process, consumed, and digesting. So those are the words that we're going to look out for as we're reading today. So at the bottom of the page here is what I like to always cover about when we are reading fiction or nonfiction. We have a process that we need to follow. We do a first read and we need to pay attention for certain things, and we can go chunk our text, right? Remember, we've talked about that, chunking our text into smaller portions where we read it all the way through, then we go back and we reread it. And that's where we start to do our annotating and our close reading. So you want to make sure that you notice the general ideas about the text. What is it about? Who is involved? Those are the basics. Then you want to connect ideas within the selection to what you already know and what you've already read. Think about, as we're reading The Black Hole of Technology, what did Etienne refer to about technology in Teens and Technology Share a Future? How does that compare with how Khan feels about it in Black Hole of Technology? Then we're going to start annotating by marking those key vocabulary words and key passages or key ideas that stand out to us. And remember, we're always annotating with a purpose. You want to make sure that when you are underlining something or marking something in the margin, the sole purpose is to help you understand the text better. Don't mark things just to mark them. Okay, that's our biggest goal with learning how to close read and annotate this year, is making sure we do it with a purpose. And then finally, this last question here, or this last box, we do the comprehension check at the end, but ours is that responding is really responding to the text and what we know, marking, pre-reading those questions and then marking them in our text and underlining information that helps us understand those texts. Okay, so before we actually start reading, what I want you to do now is go to the last page of the blog post, which is page 217. And these are those questions that you're going to answer at the end. So we're going to read these questions and we're going to mark our key phrases or words in the question so that when you're reading, you can say, hey, wait a minute, I remember seeing that in the questions. And then you can underline or star information in the blog post so that you can go back when you're doing the questions. So make sure that you have a pencil in front of you. I want to make sure that I have my highlighter on, and I'm going to highlight in green. Pardon me. Okay, question number 1. What does the author do when a friend points out a new Miley Cyrus post? So first of all, you should be thinking, all right, what's the key points in here? What am I going to look for in the text to help me answer this question? And that's what we're going to underline. So hopefully, I wish that we could interact here, but hopefully you were thinking that this is what you need to highlight right here is a friend points out a new Miley Cyrus post. So I want you to circle that, highlight it, underline it with your colored pencil. Sorry, we're not using highlighters. But that's your first one that we're going to look for is what does the author do when a friend points out the new Miley Cyrus post? Question number 2, where do the author and her family go on vacation? All right, so again, what is a key word or phrase that we can circle or underline that we should be focusing on when we're reading? And I'm hoping that you at least thought in your head about going on vacation. So you're looking for a point in the story where they go on vacation. And what do the author and where do the author and her family go on vacation? And then number 3, why does the author's father take away her cell phone? Again, I'm hoping that you are thinking to yourself what the key word or phrases that we might want to mark. And I'm hoping that you agree with me and you were thinking in your head, father take away her cell phone. So those are the parts that you should have circled or underlined in your 3 questions that you'll answer after we're done reading the whole story. This is what's giving us our purpose for reading today. So those are the things that we want to focus on. So now let's go back to page 215. That is where our story starts, the black hole of technology. And let's talk about this title for 1 second. So when you're reading a title, when you read anything, you should always be thinking, well, what do I know about this? And this phrase here, and I really would like you to circle this or star this or do something. The black hole. Oh, can you hear my cat sneezing in the background? I think he's getting sick too. My poor baby. Anyway, the black hole. So the black hole of technology, what do we know about a black hole? I have a feeling that if I were to ask this in the class that Jeffrey would have his hand up or Austin would have his hand up, ready to tell me what a black hole is. And a black hole is something that we see in space, right? And is a black hole something that's good or bad? I'm hoping that you have decided that it is something bad, right? So I would write, oh, I'm having a hard time writing right now. Write the word bad, right? Black hole is not something that's good. So if we're connecting these 2 ideas, something that's bad in technology, how do you think the author's going to feel about technology in this blog post? Probably not pretty good, right? I'm thinking that Lena Khan is going to have the opposite feeling that Stefan Etienne had in the Teens and Technology Share a Future. So let's read and let's find out. Hopefully, what I've marked here so far, you have marked as well. And remember, as we are annotating, I want you marking these things as well. All right, so let's look at our background information. The first smartphone was introduced in 1993. Since then, smartphones have become the fastest selling devices in history. By 2013, 22% of the world's total population owned a smartphone. Although many people also own personal computers, the smartphone is a portable device that allows people to stay connected wherever they go. So we want to make sure, okay, I apologize. I must have hit the pause button. So we want to make sure now that we go back and close read this little paragraph here and mark anything that is going to connect us to technology, the black hole, because those are the things in our title. So those are the things that we're focusing on. So the first thing I want you guys to mark is the first smartphone was introduced in 1993. The next thing I think that would be important to annotate is that by 2013, 22% of the world's total population owned a smartphone. That's huge, right? And then it continues on that although many people also own personal computers, the smartphone is a portable device that allows people to stay connected wherever they go. That is a key thing, right? Because we have the internet at our fingertips. And what I want you to write on the side here is this shows we have the internet at our fingertips. If you need to pause the video to copy the notes that I'm writing, please do so. All right, so now we're going to continue on, and we're just going to start by looking at the rest of this page here. We have paragraph 1 and part of paragraph 2 on the page here with us. And first, we want to look and see, is there anything that we're going to be marking? And as I'm hoping that you all noticed, we have some vocabulary words that are standing out. We have devouring, and that connects to our word, our definition here on the side. We have absorbing. Again, connects over here to the side. So make sure you're doing these annotations, please. We have process. Again, connects over here to the side. And we have consumed. So we have 4 of our 5 concept vocabulary words right here on this page. And we don't even have to read any further. Or oh my goodness, sorry. We have 4 of the 5 right here on this page. So the whole rest of this article, we only have 1 more to look for. So make sure that you have circled and then drawn the arrows connecting. And I'm already at almost 14 minutes and the video stops at 15. So I am going to stop here with lesson number 1 and the video. And we will continue with reading and annotating in our next video.